And now, live from Pod Cabin in Burbank, California, it's the Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend show. Tonight, Allison welcomes a guest. She's a writer and producer whose pastimes include peeing, thinking about death, and hiding in our lawn. It's Wendy Molyneux. And he's a writer, comedian, and 3-time Super Bowl champion by proxy. Oh, and he's also Mr. Wendy Molyneux. It's Jeff Drake. Tone Zone is here to tell us a few New Year's resolutions you can share that are guaranteed to make your friends feel like their resolutions are total shit. I'm her husband, Daniel, saying hop on board the love bus and say hello to your best friend, Allison Rosen.
Allison Rosen. Allison Rosen is your new best friend. Allison with her good times never end. Allison Rosen doing the wavy pencil dance again. Allison Rosen. Allison's your new best friend.
Hello, my little corn casseroles. Welcome to another exciting episode of Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend. That particular carbohydrate side dish was sent in on Patreon. By Megan Daniels. And yes, I'm on Patreon. All sorts of fun stuff there. You can get the Friend Zone. That is my bonus Patreon podcast. You can submit carbs. You can get behind the scenes content. You can find out things before everyone else. And there's a level where you can text me and I will text you back. And I've been doing daily text updates and people are loving them. Patreon.com/Allison Rosen. I feel like I'm slurring. I'm not drunk. I want everyone to know I'm not drunk. I'm just a little bit tired. And also, I am on Substack. AllisonRosen.substack.com. I'm spilling secrets and tea and all the stuff you can spill. It's in my Substack, AllisonRosen.substack.com. Okay, I would like to say hello to my guests. Hi, Wendy Molyneux.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Thank you. It's been a long time.
Joining us for the first time ever.
Oh, my God.
Your
Is he really?
husband, Jeff Drake.
Hello.
Hi.
He said I wasn't allowed to do stuff unless he said I could or he
nice.
came. So
Yeah.
Is that like a 2025? You getting a head start on 2025?
yeah, he's like on really hard MAGA now. So I'm not really allowed out of the house.
Right.
But he said if he came that I could do your show. So
Did he have rules about what kind of things you're like allowed to say on mic?
You can,
yeah.
can tell her.
I can say booby, I can say titty,
Yeah.
I can say cunt bag, but I can't say any like male genitals
Oh, okay.
because that's cheating.
Yeah.
That's a form of cheating.
So then how would you describe, like, we have 2 dogs.
Yeah.
And Petey needs to get neutered. He's not fixed yet.
Right.
How would one even just talk about that?
Well, first of all, I would take your dog away from you rather than let you neuter that male dog.
Exactly.
Is that good, Jeff? Did I do it right?
Yes, 100%. That's
Okay,
exactly
yeah.
what we talked
We're
about.
going to take your dog with us now that we know.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to get him an extra dick. Oh, sorry, I said dick.
Oh, no. We'll talk about it on the car ride home.
Not only are you in trouble, but I feel like maybe you don't know how they do neutering.
I don't.
Do you know what
I
they
don't.
remove? For some reason, just dog penis is coming to mind.
So weird that I had a dog penis strap ready to go.
It's perfect. It is.
I can't laugh because I have this like lingering 100-day cough from when I was sick. You know how everyone has that right now?
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not sick, but what the biggest trigger is laughter. And so I can't laugh.
Well, you've come to the right place.
Thank you. Yes, everyone please be really dull.
And Daniel, hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going great.
Great. And Tony, hi.
Hi, we're here. I don't know, is this going to be coming out this week?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the last one before Christmas, so
I guess you're right.
yeah, so we're here to talk about
Jesus Christ.
Very nice.
Okay. Daniel recently illuminated something for me that I had never really wondered about, and yet still I'm richer for knowing. The 12 days of Christmas.
Yes.
Where in December do you feel that they fall?
I mean, I thought they were the 12 days leading up to Christmas, with Christmas basically being the final day.
Okay.
But now that you're saying it, I'm guessing it has something to do with like Boxing Day and that it starts on Christmas and ends on Boxing Day, which would be like January 6th, a sacred day in its own way for all of us.
That's
when we
Boxing
storm
Day?
Wait, is
capitals. I don't know.
Boxing Day
I feel like it
I
might
think it's
be.
not Boxing
Yeah.
Day. It was
The
this day after
26th.
Christmas.
it is the day after Christmas.
Oh, I'm
yeah.
stupid.
You're-
See?
but
Jeff,
you're not
I'm
wrong.
stupid. Ask
No,
Jeff.
So
I
I
thought
like
you
it.
honestly, I thought you sounded like worldly that you were even making a Boxing Day reference.
I thought Boxing Day was like later in January.
You are confusing it with something that's real though.
Okay.
Which is
the
January
insurrection.
6th, the insurrection.
Insurrection Day.
And we all celebrate the insurrection by giving each other poop smeared on the walls and breaking each other's chairs and stuff.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
just
January
run through
6th.
doorways.
Yeah, it's funny. January 6th is it's Three Kings Day in Latin countries.
Oh.
And it was the
The Epiphany?
Epiphany in non-Latin Catholic countries. So it's the 12 days of Christmas start on Christmas.
Oh.
Can you
And
give Tony a chance to guess? What do you think, Tony?
Oh, no. Tony.
okay. Well, what is
Tony
it?
agrees
What
with
is
me.
why 12 days?
Oh, I have no idea on that, but I did hear this recently, and
Is
I knew that
never
it
not
wasn't.
funny discussing this.
No,
Okay.
no. I know that's usually my point of reference. But yeah, I couldn't remember exactly. So it starts on Christmas? I thought it was like a few
that's
days
the
before.
first day of
and then-
Christmas.
okay.
And that, well, my aunt who's from Puerto Rico, they wouldn't give gifts on Christmas. They would give gifts on January 6th because, of course, the insurrection.
Yeah.
And no, that's when the three kings come. So it's that. So it's like
So
Jesus is born, and then 12 days later the kings
come the
arrive.
king.
Did they
And they give the
start?
gifts.
Did they start on the day of his birth? and
Well,
they
like,
just
yeah,
lived so
because
far
the
away?
star appeared in the sky, right? This is what I
actually
remember
don't know.
from
It
childhood
does
when I
feel
had
like
to go to
a
church.
long journey for only 12 days when you're riding a donkey. You know?
Yeah, like they had a long way to go on their donkeys.
They did not know how to shop for children.
Seriously,
Honestly.
is it even
doesn't like
safe to
myrrh.
give them frankincense?
And
Myrrh
myrrh.
Depends on how you.
Yeah, gold, I get. Like,
Well, it's-
right?
Yeah,
It's
we're
a
giving
smart
our children
investment.
gold.
Yeah.
Well, you've had several kids. How did they like their myrrh?
Well,
Medium, I guess.
Medium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't
You,
respond that
you don't
much.
want to.
So a star appeared in the sky, and they're like, "It's go time."
We got to go. Look, there's the Jesus. There's like a special star. We know he's under that star. But honestly, very hard to locate what's under a star.
Everything
Yeah.
is under a
You
star.
can
Yeah.
see it from, like, the sun is visible most of the day from wherever you are.
Right.
So they could only
yeah.
travel at night.
It is wild that they were motivated by a star in the sky to travel.
But
with
which
presents.
one? Is it the little star? Wait, a little star of Bethlehem? Is that
Bethlehem.
how-
Yeah, you know,
Okay, so
people.
it's that one?
I
People
don't
have
think it's called
done
the Little Star of Bethlehem, is it?
Oh, little star of Bethlehem. Isn't that how
Is
the song
it?
goes?
Little
Star of
No, it's Little Town.
Yeah.
Oh,
Little town.
I would think a tiny star
This is-
wouldn't motivate
Well,
anybody
that
to
was
do anything.
even
It
more
was a big
curious.
star, Daniel. It was a
Yes.
special star.
There are 5 of us at this table, and among the 5 of us, we cannot piece together this story.
We need a religious person that
Isn't
be
there
here.
a song about a star? There's got to be.
Yeah, there's definitely is, and I know what you're thinking of, but I can't think of it.
Yeah, I think it's in We Three Kings. We
Oh.
Three Kings of
Of
Orient are
Bearing
blah blah blah.
gifts, we traverse afar.
Something. Yeah,
Something.
they rhyme it with star.
Dun,
Also, I
dun,
think.
dun.
Far and star, I know, do rhyme. So it's
Yeah.
got to be in there.
Following
It's gotta be in
yonder
there.
star.
That's
Yeah,
it.
there you go.
Oh, and then it's star of wonder, star of light, star
There
of
you go.
royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. This is
Yes.
a religious podcast now.
Yeah.
It is. Okay, so they're from the Orient. Is that why it took them
says-
12 days?
That
What?
just
Which
means
Orient
the
are they?
East,
Oh,
I believe in that context.
They weren't from like China.
I didn't know, and I didn't
They-
want to touch it.
Who knows?
They're probably
Yeah.
from like Babylon. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
something that
sure.
doesn't exist
Because
anymore.
I mean, back in those days, like if it was like 60 miles away, like that's
Right?
forever.
It was just-
Like takes you
God,
forever.
it must
to
have
get
been
there.
so much better to not know anything, like just to not know what's going on anywhere else in the world. You were just like, oh, the river looks good today.
Yeah.
The crops are fine. Like, I don't know what anyone else on earth is doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to spend a week that way until I got diphtheria and died. It would be pretty nice.
But I wonder if they thought they knew everything.
Sure. Of
And they were
course.
probably like, God, it would have been so much simpler to still be a protozoa or something.
Well, yeah, because like 700 years from now, when we're in
probably
touch
didn't
with a
think
bunch of like outer space cultures, everyone will be like, it must have been so much better
Sure.
before we knew about that. What the fucking outer spacies are doing. And we didn't get that one disease that
Yes.
outer spacies have or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, a space
A
pandemic.
simpler time. They'll
It's
think
coming.
now is such a simpler time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know that scientists have tried to figure out like what star that it was like a star that went supernova or something.
Yeah.
And I know they've tried to place that. I know
How
they've
could they
done
know? I
research
guess they
on
could look at the debris in the sky, like from previous, right, and date it back. So,
I mean, all the light we see is from the past.
Yeah.
Like, all of the light we see is from.
Damn.
This
All
is
the light
now.
It's a
what is this, the Rogan
philosophy.
podcast?
Yeah, we're on Rogan now.
Yeah.
I want to talk about my supplements.
It is amazing that
I've
they
been
can date that
biohacking.
stuff, though.
You've
that
been
they can go back.
biohacking a lot.
It's all I do. I biohack. I take
kind of
creatine.
do, though.
I biohack. I cold plunge. I biohack. I get up early and I eat elk.
I don't.
Is that what they do? They eat elk?
I think Rogan hunts and eats elk. Yeah.
Cool. I don't even know what biohacking is exactly. Is that just like me having my Metamucil every morning? Is that...
I mean, in a sense, but I think it's more toward I'm making this up. This is my sense of it
Longevity.
because I only know it from like Andrew Huberman and podcasts and tech bros. It's toward efficiency, longevity, and using science and knowledge to live longer and be more efficient.
But
to
how is
trick
that-
yourself into believing you'll live longer.
Yeah.
Right. You'll just get like pancreatic cancer or whatever runs in your family at the normal age.
I
anyway.
know.
You're still just going to get whatever runs in your family. Everyone's going to die between 60 and 80, basically.
Right.
So it's insane.
And how is that different from just like medicine?
How's biohacking different from medicine?
Yeah, like isn't that just kind of what we've always been
Because you're
doing?
doing
Just
your
a form
own
of fucking
research.
self-involvement.
Yeah.
I think it's just self-involvement. Like
I
it's
think-
just this
yeah.
interest
Yeah.
in the self that's so overwhelming that like they just think about themselves and their own bodies like all day long. And it's just like, what is
There is that guy, like maybe Brian something, that billionaire who's all like decided to use his own body to reduce his and he. Do you know the guy I'm talking about?
Oh, I've seen pictures.
Yeah,
and he
and
looks
he's-
terrible now.
Tell me,
Yeah.
look up Brian.
He and
Billionaire
Google
Brian.
Siri, look, get me Brian.
Maybe Brian.
He's
I
one
think
of
it's
the
with a Y.
756 billionaires in the United States. That's
But he
an
spends
actual
his
number.
whole day in
Yeah.
basically a lab getting his blood done and blood work and all these vitamins. He doesn't eat anything, like practically. He's very controlled. It's like, great, you're going to live to be 150, but you're living like this.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like towards
Who cares?
what end? Do you enjoy anything or you just, it's actually to me just seems like a form of anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like somewhere between like, you know, what we used to call hypochondria, we now call health anxiety, which I have, by the way, and a fear of death, and like so many things that honestly you should just be doing once a week, talk therapy to deal with your your mortality is coming no matter what you say. And like I also feel like it's something that like someone I know who was like deep in their addiction at the time was like, it doesn't matter that I'm doing this because these scientists are working on ways where I'm going to live to be 500 or 600. So it doesn't matter that I'm doing this now and hurting myself and not really living
So it's a rationale.
because I'm going to live for 600 years. And I was like, I'm sorry, buddy, but you're not. I mean, they're sober now, so I think it's good. But it was interesting that was one of their coping mechanisms too. I'm like, what are people coping with that they need to tell themselves that in a way right now doesn't matter because I'm going to live so long? It's like, no, like you might get hit by a car. Like, although you're still mortal, like you have to live now. This obsession isn't probably healthy for you.
That is so the opposite of living in the moment.
I've found
Well, I guess
Absolutely
maybe
the
it is
opposite.
living in the moment, but it's like it's not. Maybe that really is living in the moment. It's say not in any sort of like healthy way, but it's saying I'm just going to feed my addiction and do what and do what brings me pleasure right now because who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what
know.
people mean when they say living.
No,
in the
because I
moment.
think this was different because it was like someone who was in their addiction. These people probably like don't use that many things like that
Right.
because they're so obsessed with their own
Yeah.
health and whatever. But it might be the same, like, pardon me as I cough, like the same mechanism of
Yeah,
like,
I think
this
so.
makes me feel better. I'll live forever. I do not know how to live today, but I'll figure it out because I'm going to live forever.
Right.
And it's like, it's a
Yeah.
confusing thing.
I think it's an effort. It's a wish to have control over things
It's
that
a
we can't
control complex.
control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, but it also gives you the opportunity to, like you just sort of touched on it, like that, to not live in today. You're living for like, I'm setting myself up for this magical future, which is really in some ways no different than like a most religion.
Totally.
Like, it's your life is going to be terrible right now.
Right.
You know, which came from like the time when it was like
was
only
terrible.
a very few people. Can you imagine a time when only a very few people were very, very rich and everybody else was very, very poor? Anyway, that used to be the
Hard
case.
to even envision.
That used to be the case. And, and then like religion stepped in and was like, look, I know this is terrible right now, but when
See
you
this eye of this needle
die,
on this camel?
yeah, when you die, you get all of this great stuff. And then the
Right.
Mormons were like, even better, you get your own planet.
I find that I'm so adapted to being Gen X that as I get older and I see the world changing with the younger generations, I feel so out of place that I don't know that I want to live too long.
Yeah, there is
boy.
no, but there is kind of
Darkest thing ever said on the show.
I don't
There was
know that I
pause
was.
But
between
aren't you
don't want to
in
live
some ways?
too long.
But in some ways, you're being like, how a cat wanders off at the end of its life and it sort of almost
Oh,
chooses.
yeah.
You're like the cat wandering off. Like you're basically saying actually the opposite of these tech billionaires. You're saying, I'm mortal.
Yeah.
This is how a life cycle goes.
Yeah.
It is probably right and proper that I don't feel attached to the way a 22-year-old lives.
Yeah.
And I will die someday and I have to deal with that. And one of the aspects is I don't feel in touch with people who are 22 years old. And when you meet someone, sorry, stupid 100-day cough, that is like our age who's too in touch with young people, your
It's weird.
immediate feeling is like, this is fucking weird. You're not their age. Like you have
Yeah.
got to grow up.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
I think it's, I mean, you're not, I mean, yes, you're putting it in a funny way, but I also think it's kind of real. Right?
But also, Allison,
If
maybe
I find him in the linen cabinet, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
or like a
feel that's-
neighbor's yard. They're like,
might-
your husband's over
But
here and
that's
he's
what-
yowling.
That's what like the villages are. It's just like old people wandering
Yeah.
to a
Yeah.
place in the swamp
Florida.
to all die together.
But they all have a good time though. They all like to party.
Oh my
I
God.
think there's a lot of
they love
herpes.
to party.
I feel like
Yeah.
Allison,
Yeah.
you maybe want to put an air tag.
Yes, on Daniel.
Just to like.
Jeff has one on me and I love it.
Daniel slipped one into my purse one time, and I was like, I don't like that. I think we were going to Disneyland.
Stalkers
Yeah,
do
we-
that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I stalk my wife.
I'm not saying.
We do
I'm
have
not
them in
saying.
our
No, it's
like
okay.
luggage and stuff.
Yeah.
So
He put it like on my on my person.
did you lose your
Yes.
purse a lot?
No, it was to track me. He was worried about us all getting separated at Disneyland.
Well, I put them in
Yeah.
the boys' pockets too.
Yeah.
So that because why not?
We all have Find My on our iPhones, so I
Yeah.
can see.
She turns
like,
hers
if-
off, which is very weird.
I thought you enabled mine so that you know where I am.
Yeah, but you turn it off
I didn't actually.
when you go out. You're like, I'm just going to this store, and then you turn it off.
I didn't actually. I never
So
did.
weird.
But I do feel weird about the Find My thing, even though I know it's safe. I don't know why. I don't know.
So
I
you
don't
can't
know.
lie to me. That's why you feel weird about it.
But I don't go anywhere. That's the weird
That's
thing.
the thing. It's like
I go nowhere.
she said she was in the studio, but she's really in the bathroom.
She's been at Trader Joe's for hours.
Yeah, what's going on?
I can't find the stuffy.
Yeah.
So how's everything going, Molyneux Drakes?
It's a pretty general question.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I know you've weathered some barf.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're all playing a little game here today because 3 out of the 4 of our kids threw up at 4:30 a.m. Sunday
my
morning,
God.
which is yesterday from when we're recording this. So this is how it happens in our house, though. Usually, like 3 out of 4 will be barfing at the same time, but that's actually the best scenario because
Get it over with.
yeah, the worst scenario would be like a 1, 2, 3, 4 over the course of 4 days. It's
Yes.
sort of just better to have everyone throw up and then we move on.
Yeah. I am fully expecting a phone call today from the nurse that
The
Cosmo is barfing.
yeah.
He's the
Our
fourth,
youngest,
the
yeah.
one that didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't barf.
And you guys have not barfed.
No, I felt like I had a stomach ache yesterday and I had like that weird thing where your stomach like swells like an egg and you're like, oh no, something's happening.
Something's brewing.
But nothing really happened and I felt better. I think that often happens that adults don't get the stomach flu because we all had it so many times. So
Right.
it doesn't hit
Right.
us as hard.
Right.
Yeah.
Jeff, any swollen tummy?
I didn't have a swollen tummy, but I did wake up feeling very like clammy and sweaty
Oh, awesome.
last night. And then I was literally like, well, just fucking happen. Like, just do it. Like, just do it, body.
Yes, being on the
Let's go.
borderline
Yeah.
when you're like, am
I
I
hate
getting
that.
sick?
Let's go because I'm tired. I want to go back to sleep. And then it sort of faded. And then I went back to sleep and I felt better this morning.
Okay.
So,
There you go.
yeah.
So, how Christmassy are you guys feeling, and how Christmassy do you normally feel? Because Daniel announced a while ago that he wants to up the Christmassy feeling this
The
season.
last year, it
Felt-
just
he didn't-
passed me
he
by. Didn't
felt
feel it.
robbed of Christmassy festivity and such.
And then this year, it's been robbed again.
And he feels that his Christmas has been hijacked by Wicked because Elliot and I have you guys seen Wicked?
No.
Where are you on the Wicked scale? How do you feel about it?
I mean, I just haven't seen it. I think I have zero feelings about. Oh, sorry. I think I have zero feelings about Wicked.
Okay.
I'm just trying to stay back so I don't cough on your microphone.
No, you can cough on it.
Okay.
We'll clean it.
Okay.
I was very surprised to find out that it's only the first half of the musical.
Yeah.
That was surprising to me. I find Ariana Grande like weird.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of like weirds me out a little bit. So like,
She will weird you out in the movie too. Like she's
Okay.
very good, but there's a discrepancy. There's a discrepancy between her eyes and her hair and eyebrows that's distracting.
A discrepancy.
Like they're
Go on.
It's like one of those things where you have the 3 panels and
Yeah.
you can change it. And it's like one's a fireman and one's a cowboy.
Got it.
and-
right. So
Got
you
it.
think the eyebrows belong to a fireman
Yes.
and the eyes and
Yes.
the hair belong
The
to
eyes
a...
and
I think one of
cowboy.
her eyes is upside down. No, her eyes are very dark brown, but her eyebrows and her hair is very blonde, and it just doesn't. It's just very artificial looking, almost alien like,
Yeah.
like a spacey.
I don't know. We saw the musical ages ago at the Pantages, and I remember liking it in general.
Yeah.
And like the big Act 1 closer is a great, like, what's that? Defying Gravity. Yeah, that's a great song, and apparently that's that's where the movie ends. I'm like, oh, cool. Everybody is making movies longer than they have to be, stretching them out, or making additional movies like Moana 2, which is
Yeah.
questionable.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Our
boy.
kids really wanted to see it, so we took them all to see
And
it.
not
They
great.
enjoyed it.
They enjoyed it.
Well, you know.
You know, my parent company, Disney, really put their best efforts into it. That's all I have to say about it. No comment.
Yeah, it was just not. I mean, you know, it's not. It doesn't come as close as like the original. The original is really great and infinitely rewatchable. But like, it's just everything seems this. I blame Peter Jackson going back to when he released a 3.5 hour King Kong from like an original 90-minute movie. It's like there's not 3.5 hours of material in the story of King Kong. Like this is ridiculous. And then every movie of his then had director's cut, and so everybody's like, sure, yes, longer, more for sure. Break it into 2. The final Harry Potter movie has to be 2 movies.
Yeah.
You know, that whole thing. It's just too. It just. I know it's all. It just feels very blatantly like a cash grab. Like we'll make like the first Wicked will be popular, and even if the second one isn't very good, people will just people will still see it in droves, and so it'll make a ton of money. And who cares about the quality? Indeed.
So I'd say it's fair to
Yeah.
say you guys have not caught Wicked fever. Tony, I know you haven't either, and Daniel, you haven't either. I went with Ellie. I had heard from 2 different people. Like I saw it 3 times. I was like, wow. Elliot really wanted to see it. I had started listening to the music. I went to it. It's a spectacle. I loved it. It was very good. I've been listening to the music. I'd say I watched it uncritically too. Like I just went like I'm here to enjoy this with my kid. And it is long. I didn't need to pee during the movie, which was surprising because
I haven't heard that about the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes you not want to pee.
It I was surprised
Magic.
that I
People
didn't
should
need
be
to.
talking about that more.
Right. I cried at the end. I cried a little bit in the middle, but not throughout like the other 2 people who each saw it 3 times. But anyway, so I've been listening to the music a lot, and Daniel wants to leave me over it.
It's just like very earwormy, and between her playing the soundtrack and Elliot singing the songs, and he's got the voice of an angel.
He does.
But it's like what happened in the Christmas carols, folks.
So Daniel,
All right, Trump.
I know. Right?
We're saying
You
Merry
can't say
Christmas
it's the
again.
war on Christmas is now
The war on
localized,
Christmas.
hyper local.
Yeah,
it's
it's hyper local.
being fought on this. This is the new front for the war on
Right.
Christmas.
Does
Yeah.
what the
Allison
libs
make
want.
You say happy
It is what
Wicked
the
days?
libs want. What's that?
Does she make you say happy Wicked days instead of happy
It's
holidays?
coming. It's definitely coming.
Merry Wicked.
Yeah, we have a green decorated
Tree.
Christmas tree, so the tree is green with green on it.
Green on green.
It's horrible. No, it's just my life. I don't get to control the things I hear or look at or do.
So Daniel feels not as Christmassy as he wants. And I know, Tony, you used to host Feliz Navipod, a Christmas podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know how Christmassy is everyone feeling right now? We are 9 days out.
Okay. I do feel like the older I get, I struggle a little more, but I'm trying to do it, and December always gets busy. Try to like do lots of Christmassy things, like we went to
Go to a wrestling show.
that was our one non-Christmassy thing. But yeah, we went to the Silly Spoofmas show at the Elysian that Paul Rust and Neil Campbell do. We went there on Friday. We're going to Tam O'Shanter tonight for dinner with friends. Doing
nice.
Disneyland on Wednesday. Yeah, just trying to cram in all that kind of
Is
stuff
it real
that we
Christmassy at Disney?
We've been
Oh,
at
yeah.
Disney at Christmas.
That's my favorite time to
Excuse me,
go.
I'm a podcast host.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Jesus.
It's very
Christ.
Christmassy.
You know the answer to that question.
Yeah,
That's kind of a wicked voice I did.
it is. It's good. I have a dream of, like, at Halloween they do the mazes, like they do Universal Horror, and they do that. I want that, but for
I
Christmas.
think they do Knott's Merry Farm.
No, but I want like a maze, and I want it to be, instead of horror, I want it to be like delight.
Christmas delight maze.
Yeah, like I want someone to just force delight into my body. I
Do you
want to
guys
be
go to-
feeling
Into
joy.
all your holes.
Yes.
Do you go to Underwood Farms
They
with the
promise.
kids?
No.
Oh, do they
Underwood
do-
Farms is the best.
Oh, it's great.
Christmassy?
Yes, and
Oh.
the Santa line is short. So I shouldn't be telling
It
people
was
to go.
short. Yeah.
Until now.
But we go every year, and it's just really nice. It's like a little farm. There's little rides. There's
We've
little.
been there on
Yeah,
a
it's
field
nice.
trip.
For Halloween.
It was like Elliot's first year at preschool, though, so it was a
Yeah.
long time ago.
Yeah.
And then the owner of the Underwood Farms, wasn't he at the January 6th riots, I think?
Oh wait, what is he a stormer?
A friend of ours
We
told
had
us
heard something about that, but then we didn't find not about that, but that like there was something questionable, but then we didn't find any proof of it.
No,
So
there's nothing left
think it was-
though. If you start going anywhere or doing
I
anything,
know.
because of that, there's nothing left.
yeah, just you and your righteousness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Underwood Farms. Where else do we need to go? Did
Zoo
you guys?
lights are.
Zoo lights.
That's
is
on our
nice.
list, maybe.
Yeah.
Descanso is nice, although it's so expensive now. It's like very expensive
and it's
to
not
go.
it's not Christmas.
Yeah, it's really not Christmassy
in
at
particular.
all. I was
It's
supposed to go
cool.
last
We're
week.
talking about
It's cool.
Enchanted, which is a big
Enchanted.
light show
Yes,
at
it's
Descanso.
cool.
Listeners know we go to Descanso all the time. We're members, which makes me feel special because we have a little thing that lets us in. We go every year. We go to Carved and Enchanted. Carved
Yes,
is their big
same.
Halloween thing.
Yeah.
And this year, because of the cost, I said let's just do one of them because they're getting very samey. Even though they change it
Yeah.
up every year, it feels very much the same.
Yes,
Yeah.
You mean
I
from year to
agree.
year?
So for me, I mean, I feel bad because I don't think the kids are aware that we're not going, and I don't think they'll realize it till they're like, wait, why didn't we go? But I can buy some
Yeah,
time.
I might try the Arboretum instead this
So
year.
they're
just
not
to
doing
change
it.
up. They're not doing it
this year. No.
Oh crap!
I know.
They're not. They're all at Wicked.
Probably.
They
Yeah.
need to go to Wicked a
Their
bunch of
win.
times, and it's so long they don't have time to put the light show up.
So zoo lights, you say yes. Are the animals there?
I think they're there, but they're not the point.
They
you know what I
wrap
mean?
them in
They wrap
lights.
each one like those cars that are wrapped in lights that you see driving around.
Okay. We saw one of these the other night.
How do they
we
do
had
that?
never for anyone
Jeff
who
is
doesn't
also
know.
curious.
We saw a car. It was as if the car was like covered in light brights.
It's
if you
not.
remember that
Yes,
toy.
yes. It's not like someone strung lights on the car.
No, it's like covered.
like embedded in the somehow.
It's like someone sprayed adhesive all over the car and then threw a bunch of lights at the car. It's like
yes.
It
How do they do
I
that?
like it.
it's a little
feel
much. I like it, but I also feel like I can't stare at it for too long.
Yeah.
I looked it up because I was like, it's got to be a kit or something,
Like a
right?
wrap,
It's got to
right,
be
yeah.
something with magnets or
Like one of those things that they can a film or something maybe they put on.
there's that option also. But the first thing I came across is like it said, first of all, it'll likely ruin your paint, and second of all, it might be illegal.
But what
Oh.
is it?
Oh.
What is
the
it?
light putting. Well,
Like, did you find out the mechanism?
I just read the top of the article,
That's all
and then
there
I was
is.
like, oh, okay, it might be illegal, because I was
Yeah.
just like, oh, maybe what I wanted to like search was just find like, here's a kit. And
Yeah.
And
Right.
instead I was like, oh, there's controversy. Okay, I'm not that interested
Right.
in
Yeah.
finding out the ins and outs of putting lights on my car because I'm not going to put lights on my car.
Did you read the AI summary?
I did not.
Okay.
No.
Because usually that's at the top. That's where I get most of my info these days. And I'm
No.
like, this could be completely wrong.
It was from
I always scroll
Jalopnik.
down.
Oh, Jalopnik. They would
Yes.
know.
Mm-hmm.
Tony, do you know what we're talking about?
I literally saw one last night.
What if we're all just seeing the one car?
It might
Well, yeah,
be.
he rides around looking for compliments.
That's what I used to think here in Burbank about 6 months ago with
Cybertruck?
Cybertrucks.
Yeah.
And now
Oh, there's
everybody got theirs delivered, obviously, and now Burbank is lousy with
A lot of
Cybertrucks.
a lot of them, and like I saw one that was painted white today, and it's just like
Really?
there's no color that looks good on a Cybertruck.
I
It make me angry.
I saw one that was I took a picture of it. It was on Burbank Boulevard, pretty close to our the veterinarian that we go to, and it was they had jacked it up, which made it look even more ridiculous. And then on the
Because
back,
it's more in your eye line.
and it was black, it was the matte black kind, and on the back in shiny black letters, so black on black,
Cybertruck.
it said, "Oh no, Cyber Beast."
Wow.
And I was like, "This is
yeah.
this is the ultimate Cybertruck." 'Cause,
Now, who is
like, it
the
was
person that
jacked up.
like? I just try to imagine the psychology of the person. Like, what is their life? What's going on with that
They
person?
just are like, I feel like they're biohacking.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
rising and grinding.
They're rising and grinding. They're
Wow,
taking
don't know what that
collagen supplements or something.
All
they have
the-
like
not
they
just all
don't
the
they don't
supplements.
neuter
Just
their
for-
dog. It's got a full penis.
Yeah.
Once again, I feel
they're
like she
just
doesn't quite
like
know.
Extra
going-
penis, probably.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
never like have shopped at a grocery store. They eat that, like if their grass gets too long, they just eat a bunch of it. Like they're just, they don't do anything the regular way. Do you know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Like,
Right.
So did it have bigger tires? Like was it jacked up in
No,
that
no,
sense?
regular sized tires, but they had just
They just raised it.
Yeah,
like
raised
the
it.
transform,
And it
like a
looked-
weird
I mean,
transformer or something.
It looked so like at least. I mean, they always look wrong to me, especially when they're in motion. I'm like, that thing shouldn't be moving.
Right.
It looks like my kid decided to make a car out of cardboard boxes.
Yes, it
and
does.
how is it driving?
Right.
How is it drive? Or what it really reminds me of, because I'm very old, is there used to be. Remember when they had those early video games that they were just like polygon
Yeah, the
shaped,
vectors.
and it was
Yeah.
a tank one.
Yes,
that you would drive.
it
and
does have
blew,
that.
It blew up into little like triangles and pyramids and stuff like that. And that's what every time I see it, I'm like, it's straight.
That
out of
almost
this
is
stupid video
probably
game.
exactly what the aesthetic is. Yeah,
What is this video? I am old.
this is
but I don't know
early
this video
arcade,
game.
like
Yeah, this is
that the
like-
one?
You know this, Wendy?
Where there's one where you look through a periscope
No.
kind of thing too, right?
Yeah, they
Where
had
you-
those. Like the very early ones were super weird because they had like literally, and you can see a glimpse of one in the movie Jaws, where there's like literally like it's like a light that shines on a piece of film that was like a shark thing, and when you hit. It was, and so it was like not really a video screen, but you did like look through a thing, but it was very like early kind of. It was basically just like I think it just worked on like photo sensors, and so you would like aim your thing and try to hit this moving, like changing picture of a shark. It was just a picture of a shark, but then they moved on to those like asteroids. It was basically like a fancy asteroids, but it was tanks. And you would drive around a 3D landscape that was just.
I feel like there was a
wireframe.
Star Wars game that kind of had that similar like
Yeah.
vectory vibe with the.
I think it was the original Star Wars arcade game. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
So anyway,
You don't want to talk about cars or
on the
something?
on the Christmas scale of 1 being Scrooge and 10, who's the most Christmassy of all?
Scrooge.
Santa Claus.
Santa.
Oh.
Where? Oh yeah, it could be Scrooge at the end.
At
Yeah.
the end. Yeah, from
beginning or
early
Scrooge?
Scrooge
Yes.
at the beginning of the book to Scrooge at the end.
Yes,
I like
where,
the scale just being on the scale of Scrooge
To Scrooge.
to Scrooge.
Where are
do
you?
you fall?
Yeah.
Well, mentally, I'm Scrooge at the end of the book, but I just feel so busy that I can't like enjoy. I literally I haven't even sat and looked at the fucking tree very much. Like our tree looks great, but I haven't been able to just sit and look at it, which is what I like to do. Because I'm so busy, everybody keeps getting sick, so I can't be as Christmassy as I want.
You're
so I
due
feel
for
like
a
I need to
miracle.
do the 12 days of Christmas and celebrate some after Christmas and pretend it didn't already happen or something.
I mean, we will keep our tree up for a while after Christmas until the new year.
Yeah.
And it's especially spectacular this year.
What's so magical
Well,
about your
our
tree?
friend Brooke Dillman is
I
really good at lighting trees, and she has an artificial tree, and she knows that I admire the way she lights it. So this year she said, I want to do you a favor. I want to come over and light your tree. But she didn't understand that it would be very different to light a real tree because her tree is like symmetrical. So she takes the trees and she goes along almost every branch and weaves it in and out. So the and wraps the trunk so that the tree is like deeply lit from within. Like it's like magical looking. I'll send you a picture. You can put it on your website if you have a website.
It's like looking into space.
So she
Sounds
came
like
over
one of
to
those
do
cars.
it. And, I mean, she came over at like 3:00 in the afternoon, and by like 7 p.m., she was at like a third of the way done with it because it's an unpredictable pattern.
Right.
So, and it's like she wore long sleeves, but you're getting all scratched up. And we like kept asking to help, and she's like, "No, I want to do it." And we were like, "How long did she say? Till like 10 p.m. I think."
Yeah, and then
literally
it still
like 7
wasn't
hours.
done.
It wasn't done.
Because we ran out of lights.
We ran out of lights.
It takes a lot of lights.
Lowe's department store Lowe's hardware store ran out of lights.
Oh, wow.
We didn't run out of them. Lowe's had no more lights for us to buy because of us buying all of them.
I
Literally.
went, and so I went to Lowe's in the middle of it and got a text from my son, who was our oldest, who was just sitting and keeping Brooke company while she was still doing it. And he was like, you should buy like whatever. I mean, however many like spools. I mean, it was like, they don't have those anymore. And I had to buy small things that were like 50 lights per strand. And ultimately,
we have no money left for gifts.
No.
The kids are not. What we're going to do is let them look at the tree.
Last year, it was probably a total of about 500 lights on the tree. Let's say 500. There's easily 3,000 lights on this tree.
Wow.
Yeah, so Brooke did it.
If you
she
were
should
to
honestly
estimate-
do this as a like sideline.
How much money is in the tree lights?
I don't know.
$5.
Don't say. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I'm pretending this didn't happen.
Okay. Well, it sounds beautiful, though.
It
It
looks
is beautiful,
amazing.
but I haven't had a chance to just sit and look at it as much as I'd like to.
And I
then-
haven't had a chance to get up and put the Christmas lights on our house. And it's, as you said, 9 days until Christmas.
We haven't had a chance, and I don't know if we're going to do a Christmas card. Do you guys do Christmas cards?
No, I'm too lazy.
I was always like, how do people get their shit together to do a Christmas card? And then we did one 2 years ago. And I was like, that was actually very fun. Expensive, but fun.
But we did it late.
And
we
then
sent it after Christmas.
Yes, the
Yeah,
first
it's
year.
the way
And
to
then
do it.
last year we had our shit together. And then this year we haven't done it at all. And we also don't have a picture in mind. I feel like we don't have any good pictures of the four of us. And we also don't have any good pictures of just the two boys. I mean, I'm sure we do, but there's nothing where that, like the other years I was like, oh, that could work as a Christmas card picture. And now they're at the ages where when I say, hey, can I get a picture of you guys? One of them like won't get off his iPad and like looks in the other direction on purpose, so that's not happening. Yes, we might not do a card this year, but all the people on our list are going to feel snubbed.
I don't think.
I
I don't
cares.
think people notice that.
I guess I notice.
I never
one year
notice
my-
whether I get cards or not from anyone. I'm like, okay.
One year I didn't get one from my brother, and then I noticed that my mom had. What the hell?
Yeah, I'll notice if I get one. I don't notice if I don't get one.
But what if you
Yeah.
normally get one and then you don't?
I don't know who sent them to me last year.
Yeah.
no idea.
How?
No
I
idea.
don't-
So Brooke Dillman, whom I've met, she very, very funny VO person,
Yes.
and actress.
Yes.
How did she get into tree lighting?
No, it's just that she's really into Christmas. I mean, she's
Okay.
Christmassy off the chart. She's Scrooge in the sequel.
Ooh.
Re-Scrooged. Yeah, re-Scrooged. So she just does her tree in a very special way. And so
She has 4 trees in her house.
Oh
Yeah.
my lord.
I mean, two that are small, but they're lit also. Yeah.
Well, we normally do 2 trees. This year we only
Like
did
a
one.
small one and a big
Yeah.
one for the 2 rooms.
But almost all the ornaments went on the big one, and I have to say it looks better.
No, we have enough. The reason we don't have the small one is because we have a puppy.
No, what I'm saying is a buttload of ornaments looks better.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know this too?
Yeah, because we kind of did the same thing. We had a second full-size one, but didn't set it up this year for space reasons. But yeah, same thing. So everything kind of went on this year, and that does look better. Yeah,
I will say that I've developed. Growing up, my dad worked for Hallmark cards, and so that's the only connection I can see between in the last like 10 to 15 years. Every year I get very excited about the Hallmark keepsake ornaments.
I do too.
He's like
And-
a Tennessee Williams character. With his little dolls.
I keep all of the boxes.
Menagerie.
Same.
I keep all the boxes to put because it's the
I
best
like
way to store
live in
them.
here. I don't want to
Some
look
of
at
them
the
are very
world
fragile.
anymore, Ma.
Yeah. So like every year, and this year I was like, you guys are kind of half-assing it this year. There's hardly any that I want. And then I what I do is I go through and as I go through, because there's hundreds of them, I go through and I just put them in my cart. As I'm like, yeah, that one maybe. And then I look at my cart and then I edit it down. And then this year I was like, I'm not going to do a ton. And I
don't want to know anything about that.
I had just
I've
5.
avoided this information in my personal life. I know that they're
Sorry, I'm
there,
curious.
but I ignore that any of this happens. So this is a really harmful podcast for my marriage.
I
don't want to know about it.
I had 5, and one of them was going to be a gift for our son Jose, which was a Heinz ketchup squeezable bottle. And the other was a Wienermobile.
Squeeze the
that's
ketchup, son.
Yeah.
Squeeze the bottle up
The other,
out you.
the other was a Wienermobile that then also like played sound. And I was like very excited about those. And
Who was that one for? You?
just
That's for the family.
Yeah, that's for the family. Everybody loves a Wienermobile.
Yeah.
That plays songs.
Yeah.
I'm going to go look at my ornament cabinet, Ma.
So, is
need to live
shoebox
in there.
greetings part of Hallmark?
Yes, it is.
Because we were just talking about Maxine.
Do you know who Maxine is?
Oh, of course I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
I've
who's
come
Maxine?
from a Hallmark family.
The old
The
lady
old
from the
lady.
shoebox greetings.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, those.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so back to your ornament.
Well, then
curation.
I waited, and then when I went back to my cart, 2 of them were no longer available.
Was it the ketchup and the
What?
hot
It
dog?
was the ketchup and the
That
Wienermobile,
fast?
and I
Set up
was,
the ornaments. The
I
mayor's
was
coming.
furious.
The mayor's
I was
gonna stop
furious. I was
by,
like, why
Ma.
didn't I just pull the trigger? Now I don't have a fucking wiener. Now I can get them on
Now I
Etsy.
don't have a
Well, I was
fucking
gonna
wiener.
my hot tip for you. You probably know this, but what we started doing is
different world I
basically
didn't know
because
existed.
sometimes they will sell out, but then certain stores might get some.
Yeah,
back.
you can get them.
There is a Hallmark store in the Arcadia Mall, and if you go after Christmas, they're usually almost all still there, and they're like half price, if not more, like even more.
That's the thing. Is like you have to go to Arcadia.
It's going to be the day
Right
I
there's.
file for
It
divorce.
used to be.
I'm filing for divorce the day Jeff goes to Arcadia to the mall.
You just
Set an
get
alert on your
Christmas
phone.
Jeff's
ornaments.
gone out to the mall. The barrister's coming round. I'm going to write the papers today. He gave our whole fortune to those ornaments. I'm a ruined woman.
That's the thing is there used to be Hallmark stores everywhere,
Oh, yeah.
everywhere, and so it would
Far
be
as
easy.
the eye can see.
Why?
So did you growing up have the inside track to Smurfs? The Smurf toys?
No.
I've lost control.
Because that's where you get them, is at the Hallmark.
Oh, you would?
Oh, yeah.
He collects
Mary's
Smurfs.
Hallmark. Mary's Hallmark had all the Smurfs. That's what I would get.
Yeah.
Wait, what have you lost control of? This show?
Well, yeah, which is okay. But there's just a lot going on that, like, I didn't know there was a keepsake ornament
Oh, yeah.
aftermarket. I also didn't know there
yeah.
were keepsake ornaments, really. I didn't
There's
know
a
people get
club,
excited about
too.
them.
Sure.
And then I just feel like there's a lot of bonding happening between the guys over, like, there's an
Keepsake
ornament.
ornaments.
Yeah. And then there's,
They're
like,
magic.
It
Daniel,
really is like...
Daniel's
I'm
getting
doing a Tennessee Williams
I'm
play
into
about
that.
my husband.
And I'm into that. But Daniel wants to know
This
about
his glass
Smurfs.
menagerie.
This really is
of
like the Rogan
ornaments.
podcast, just guys bonding over Hallmark.
Yeah. Hallmark keepsake ornaments.
Well, Allison and I slowly spiral
Yeah,
into
exactly.
oblivion.
I know. Okay, here's my question. Explain what the Hallmark keepsake ornaments are.
They're just really great figurines that are made, and for a while, every year there would be a different one from the original Grinch.
Okay.
So there would be like little like really well done, like
a Max,
and then there's some Nightmare Before Christmas ones that are really terrific.
Yeah, they have lots of franchises.
But then then for a while they did board games where it was like the board game laid open, and so there's like Clue and Scrabble and Life, and they're all really and they're
Do you
just
have all those on your tree?
Absolutely. And Battleship, which is 2 ornaments. That's nice.
Oh, yeah.
I have a weird. I'm a stickler about my ornaments. I don't like ornaments
I thought Jeff was one of a kind.
They need to
drop.
You
they
guys
need to have
be in some sort of I want to say like ramshackle mansion together. Yes. With
Great
your
gardens.
ornaments only, and no one ever comes by.
Keepsake gardens.
Yeah, your keepsake gardens. There's like a bunch of turtles in the pond. You guys are out there.
Hey, hold on a second. Hold on. I want to find out. What this is all about. He's a stickler, and I want to know what it is.
I don't. But
I don't just want anything. Like, it might be something I'm into, but it needs to have a Christmas element to the ornament. Because sometimes, like you were talking about, like the ketchup bottle or something. Like, I get it. Your son wants it or whatever. But like for me,
wow,
I need like
you
put it. You put a Santa hat on that ketchup bottle. I'll take it.
Because I also have a ranch dressing bottle that I just found at a grocery store. It has nothing on it, nothing Christmassy at all, and that's what I like about it. I also have a pickle.
That's fair.
There's a pickle.
Oh, see, I feel like a pickle would have a Santa hat.
It doesn't.
Just straight up pickle.
It does have a Clausen sticker on it, though.
We
Maybe
did have a
next
pickle
year
with a Santa
you could come
hat.
over and put Santa hats on all our ornaments, and I'll move to fucking England.
If you think that there's some we have that we haven't done that to, then you're mistaken.
I'm sure there is.
No, she thought you did.
I thought you did. That's why I said you should come over.
No, I am a crazy person when it comes to like. Now that the kids are older, it's not as insane. But when they were younger, it's like
just exactly the same amount.
You're going to be like my aunt.
Exactly the same amount of insane.
You're going to be like my aunt who has so many Christmas ornaments, she puts up another tree just to have all the overflow.
Yeah.
So now, so you were saying at the beginning they would do like a special, a well done Grinch ornament or Nightmare Before Christmas, but now what? There's
they've kind of run through most of the. So then there's other whole like subcategories. There's always a bunch of Peanuts ones. There's just generic stuff but then there's also really done like you can get almost any football player in ornament form and it's like not interested in that, or like an Aaron Judge and it's him and like not interested in
each year they come out with new ones. Is that the thing?
Yeah. And it's only available that year. I mean, of course you can probably find them all on Etsy or go to Arcadia.
Or La Cañada.
The ornament of the year this year that I've seen is Tim Robinson on the zip line.
Oh yeah, I ordered one of those for my. I know he doesn't listen to podcasts that I'm on, so it'll still be a surprise. But I did order him that one off Etsy.
That's a good one.
So that was fun.
Yeah, but like last year, and then the boxes have the year on the top, and so when you put it back away in the box, and you're like, here are the ones from.
Yeah, you remember like, I was happy then. That's what you write. You go, I was happy then. That we hadn't sold off as much of the estate
to buy new ornaments,
and my rocking chair hadn't burned up in the fire.
Now, what about the Christmas Village?
Huh?
You're not into that?
Arrowhead?
No.
Oh, Santa's Village. That's not what he's talking about, but I do have a question about that.
What's
if you know
Santa's
about it.
What do you mean?
Didn't Hallmark also sell like a light up village? Like,
I would like that because it lights up. That I would like.
I found
my problem with these Hallmark ornaments. Here's my thing.
Okay,
you're in the right area, Tony. They're not Christmassy. They don't have a light up element, nor do they shine or shimmer. And honestly, if it's Christmas, we should be shining and shimmering. Yeah, so these ornaments, they don't shine or shimmer in any way. They're just like the board game Sorry. And I'm like, this is actively depressing to me. But I live with it because marriage is a compromise. And my compromise is that I will eventually just have my own tree, probably in the TV room so I can look at it while I watch TV, that is filled with shiny, shimmery ornaments that Jeff has no say in whatsoever. That is what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. That's how it's like people who get separate bedrooms.
Yes. You have your own
tree.
Get
my own tree with my own aesthetic. And then we just live that way, We just live with two separate trees. And that's just life.
But this year, I also...
he doesn't even have any comment.
He's
right back on the ornamental.
No.
He literally will not... You guys have... He would talk about this for 3 hours and there would be no other topics on this podcast other than these ornaments.
No, back to the Christmas Village. I found a Christmas Village at at Cost Plus World Market.
Mm-hmm.
And gave that to Wendy as a birthday
It's
gift.
true. He did get me a light up Christmas village.
I got her a light up
that's
Christmas
great.
village and some
Pacify
trees.
me.
And then also made sure, because I remember you talking about how there weren't enough shiny, shimmery things on the tree. I bought 2 boxes of, they're basically tiny disco balls.
That's not Christmassy.
But it's shiny.
Balls are not Christmassy, nor are they
But
gold.
it's hard to find. It's
you need
hard.
gold.
Silver is not really a Christmas color. Gold is a Christmas color.
Well,
So it was a nice effort.
It's a
But
but there is.
again,
I beg to
find
differ.
myself-
Silver and gold by Burl
I find-
Lives. Exactly.
But to me, that's like
Got
you're
it.
trying to tell me that I think Hallmark ornaments are Christmassy.
No, I'm not
So
trying
you
to say
can't
that.
tell me that silver disco balls are Christmassy. They're not. They're from the 70s
But they
at a
shine.
disco.
Yeah, and they reflect the
They
light.
don't.
Yeah.
No, they're not good. I don't
Okay.
like.
I'm
Got
with
it.
you. I understand.
That's my one exception. I will do those. Any sort of ball ornament,
Yeah.
I'll give that a pass.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
I'm
hard to
gonna-
find unbreakable ones.
So there is
that are
a
shiny.
there is a gal
I'm
that I
just gonna
follow.
do my own tree. I'm going to do it this year, and then I'm going to send you a picture of that
Please
too.
do. Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a gal I follow on Instagram who makes tin ornaments, like like vintage tin ornaments. And so
Yeah.
she'll melt the tin and she'll do them. Those are shiny.
Are
That
you-
would be my vibe.
Oh, those
right
are
there.
shiny, I would think.
I
Yeah,
like a
very
vintage
shiny.
Those-
Christmas.
Okay.
Those
crusty
sound like
old
they're going to
Martha
be in the
Stewart
silver
vibe,
range,
sure.
though.
They
which-
are.
Yeah,
And
I like
tinsel-
a gold. I like
tinsel
a
used to be
shining
silver.
red, a shining green,
tinsel.
like all Christmas vibe. You know, like
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
that's what-
Tinsel was silver.
No.
I missed. Did they even make tinsel anymore?
They do for sure because
Okay.
I think I put it on one year and Jeff doesn't like it.
Why, Jeff?
We're working out a lot of
What?
marital problems here.
This
live
is
on the
not true.
podcast.
There's no world in
You
which
did
I
it.
was
You
like, I
kinda
don't
just
like.
went at it. You just like
I
you do
did
that.
not.
Yes, you go,
Was
like
it
that.
was it covering
Did
up
not.
his board games?
It might have been.
I bet you-
don't know.
I bet
This
tinsel's
is
less
pretty
popular
boring.
because people do artificial trees, and you don't want to like have to
Yeah,
take
that's a pain.
it
De-tinsel
off
it
of
is. Yeah.
intensify.
Yeah.
And then you
Right.
can't really, even on a real tree, you can't like then upcycle your tree with a bunch
Oh.
of tinsel on it.
That's right.
It's like flocking. You may as well just
Oh, you
set it
can't.
on fire. I mean, that's
Also, what is flocking?
do.
Is it just asbestos?
yeah, probably.
Probably just asbestos.
Spray,
That's
right.
what they've been doing with the asbestos. Is giving it to the tree.
Whatever it is, it's
Spray-
not
they
good for you.
Scraped it off the ceiling, straight
Yeah.
from the ceiling to the tree.
Yeah, all those ceilings that had that textured
Popcorn.
thing. Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
The best thing to come out of ceilings like that was the one physical joke in the visual gag in Raising Arizona where they're in a fight and I think it's John Goodman like grasps both of his hands above his he raises them above his head to hit Nicolas Cage on the back and scrapes it across the ceiling. It's just like to me that was
That was it. No one had
now
it
move
after
on.
that.
No,
We're done
move
with
on.
this.
Yep. Terrible ceiling choice. Anyway, that's what we're here talking about on Allison Rosen Loves Ceiling Choices.
Yes, it was Allison Rosen's ornament shootout.
Ornament hour.
Yeah, ornament. I'm interested, Tony, that round ornaments get a pass. Is that because they're so like the platonic ideal of ornament?
Yeah, I don't know. I just like, you think of those
The
Christmas
globe.
balls,
Yeah.
and so like, I'll kind of give those a little bit of a pass.
Wait, give them a pass like they can live, or give them a pass like I'm passing them by.
No, they can live.
Oh, okay.
I'll
He'll
allow it.
allow
Oh,
them even
yeah.
though they
Allow
don't
them.
have like a specific
So
Christmas.
Jeff and he in the mansion. That might be
Yes.
one thing they disagree
We're having
about.
totally different Christmas trees, obviously. I mean, I think we share yes, we're both in on the keepsake ornaments, but our trees do not Venn diagrams do not intersect.
When you guys
Yeah,
sit
you're not
at
a
your
stickler.
very like when you guys are in your rundown dining room at one of those very long tables. When the
I'm
roast,
picturing Fight
when
Club.
the roast is placed in the center by your aging maid, do you guys go to the center, each of you, and get your slice of roast, or does she bring it down then to each end for you guys to take a slice of roast on Christmas? Which one? Do you get up,
yeah, I
or
think
do
I
you
would
each have a
get up.
blanket on your lap? You can't. It's a heavy blanket. So you can't
That's
get
true.
up.
It's cold in that mansion. I gotta.
Yeah, and
I
the
gotta have my
Christmas things
warmie
are
on.
up year round. I'm imagining too.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that duplex down the street from where we used to live, where they had
Oh yeah.
Christmas stuff up all year round.
Oh my God, we have a
Oh,
neighbor
boy.
that like a couple houses down across the street from us has since last year, just their Christmas lights have just been up
Yeah.
and on all year
Yeah.
long, and then they burned out late November.
We had our Christmas lights up all year.
I know, and Tony
growing
was
up.
always talking about people who leave their lights up all year, and I was like, I hear you. I am right here.
Yeah, no, because my stepdad didn't want to bob. It was too much of a hassle because I think he put him up with a staple gun, which is
Clark Griswold style.
Right, you're not supposed to, right?
well, yeah. Of course, it's hard to take those things off. You made it impossible.
yeah.
Just get hooks, you ding
It
dong.
also
It
feels
is
like you
all
shouldn't
kinds of-
staple electrical wires. That feels like a weird
Right,
choice.
yeah.
Like maybe not safe. What do I know? I don't know anything.
I feel like that's the decision to leave it up all year is the decision everybody who bought one of those giant skeletons has come to. They're like,
all of them.
they're like, you know what?
We have nowhere to put this thing.
Fucking know how to take this thing down. Like, I'll just
Yeah.
leave it up. Leave it up. And so now I put a Santa hat on it, which I'm sure you approve of. And then you just have to January 6th, I guess you put like a
American flag on
a
it.
podium in its arm.
Pelosi's head.
Yeah.
Chopped off.
Like taking a bite of Nancy Pelosi's head like an apple. I don't know.
Yeah.
Then
Although it delights Elliot, he is
Nancy
thrilled.
Pelosi's head.
He hates
He's got
her.
a lot of
He
ideas.
hates her so much.
Yeah. What has she ever done?
Exactly.
surfboard and board shorts for like the summertime.
For
You've
Nancy
got your
Pelosi?
skeleton for Nancy Pelosi.
She just took a fall.
Do they
I saw a headline.
That's
yeah.
She got a hip
took
replacement.
fall. Yeah.
She okay?
I think she's fine.
do they sell giant Nancy Pelosi's that you can put up in your yard?
Yes.
I would honestly get one just to
Yeah.
annoy the MAGA people in my neighborhood.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
I think we should do just me or everyone.
Okay.
Sometimes I ponder on something I have thought or done. Is it just me or everyone?
You have a just me or everyone, Wendy.
I do.
Let's hear it.
Allison. Well, I was wondering if people think. I don't think this. If somebody were to tell me out loud what type of car they had, I wouldn't think they had a certain personality. But when I see cars on the road,
Oh,
I kind of think they themselves have a personality, as if I'm in the movie Cars. Like if I see a Mini Cooper, I automatically go, "Uh-oh." Because people in Mini Coopers drive really aggressively and fast, and they like cut you off and stuff. And I'm like, oh, but if you told me you had a Mini Cooper, I wouldn't think like, oh, you're so aggressive, and
Right.
and I wouldn't think when I saw it. But I don't know.
that's so interesting. I didn't know that about Mini Coopers and their personality.
It's probably something I made up. But I wondered if other people, like, if they see a certain make and model of car, are like, oh, buddy, I know what you're like.
Yeah.
Either good or bad.
Right.
I do.
But it is sort of, I mean,
probably
the
do.
Mini Coopers people drive them that way because they do have a larger engine. This is what I understand about it. And I do not know much about cars, but I do know that it's a big engine for a small car. So it does it is zippy.
Peppy.
Yeah.
I feel that way about blue BMWs. Blue BMWs are only driven by assholes.
I think I kind of get that too.
I think that there was a
study or
a
something
study.
that said
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oftentimes
so.
blue BMWs are driven by assholes, or
No,
they
you will
drive
find this
aggressively.
I also
the
think in
case.
movies that is the car that they would tend to give the like jerky lawyer or something
Right.
would be a blue BMW or like a white one, a white Mercedes or
Yeah.
wait, you have a white
okay.
Mercedes.
No, asshole.
But that's what
true.
I'm saying. I
Good
don't
try.
associate you with being an asshole. But in a movie, they would probably give that to someone to be like, "You're a jerk"
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Also, in my defense, I have the very entry level. It drives worse than a Toyota. So I think that if it was like a snazzy white Mercedes, though, then maybe I would adopt some kind of asshole attitude to go with the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I think it's sort of the obvious ones. Like if I see, I don't know exactly what a Camaro is, but what I imagine a Camaro, like some kind of like muscle car, actually like
I
the
don't know.
outlier cars. So if it's some like vintage, sports car or whatever, I'm probably going to think some things about that person. Not necessarily bad, but just assume that they are a certain way or whatever Jay Leno drives.
He drives hundreds of different things.
Yes.
All of them.
Yes.
Yeah,
he
All
drives
of them.
all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, like even like a Porsche or something. I probably have some thoughts.
Oh, any time on that tip, anytime I see like a 70-year-old guy driving like a sports car, like a brand new sports car, I'm always like, oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tony, car thoughts?
I so don't pay attention to cars. Really, like honestly, the cybertrucks we were talking about earlier, that's the only one where, and my next door neighbor has one now. Sometimes parks
really?
right in front of our house.
No.
Yeah.
What color is it?
Well, that's the weird thing. It was the like silvery, and then suddenly one day he has a black one. So there's a black one now.
Did he trade it in?
I have no idea.
Did it mature?
It's gone bad.
Oh, no.
It's like an avocado.
Yeah. Turned black.
Interesting. Jeff, do you have a Just Mirror Everyone?
I would, when I see somebody, an adult male, running down the street shirtless, like jogging, I'm always like, okay, like you're bragging. Like, no, you know, you don't need to have your shirt. You're not so hot that you can't wear a shirt. But then
They're so hot.
I think that's the part. But then what I always think is the minute you put that person driving a car shirtless, it's like
I was going to add that.
Shit, that guy's on meth. He's running moonshine. Like the minute you see somebody in a car with no shirt on, you're like, I need to get the fuck away from this person. Nothing good is going to happen in
So
the
much
next.
car talk today.
Yeah.
This is the new
Cars
car
and
talk.
ornaments. Yes.
Like that old show, Car Talk.
Talk,
Yeah.
That
exactly.
you can you should post this with that podcast too. It's an overlap now.
Right. I'll see if they'll let us in their
Yeah, I
feed.
bet they will.
Yeah,
Probably.
They
I
still-
think you just click
I don't
in
think they're
Clack
still
the Tappet
alive.
brothers.
Yeah.
Didn't they
Yeah,
die
one
or
of
something?
them. Yeah.
Well, then it's time for this.
Oh, the new car talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, get the other one to consent.
a bunch of people
Click
who
and
don't
Allison.
really know anything about cars
Yeah.
talking about cars.
That's
I
right.
was just thinking about cars this week because I was thinking about Bruce Springsteen when I was listening. I was listening to Born to Run, and I was thinking about Bruce Springsteen, and I was like, Bruce Springsteen thinks everyone is way more into cars than they are. Like every song will be like, my wife left me, so I got in my car. Like most people, cars are not a part of our emotional reaction to literally anything. Or like in Born to Run when he's like, the highway's filled with broken heroes on a lap. I'm like, it isn't. There's no broken heroes on the highway at all. Like he associates like driving around in your car with like the biggest moments of your life, and I don't think anyone else does.
But was that a generational thing, like where there was more of a romantic notion? Now it's just like every car looks the same. It's just
I
a
guess, but it's
chore
also
to
like
drive,
a weird
you know?
fixation. It's like,
Strap yourself
Every
across my
time-
engines. That,
yes, everything's like about a car. Like
Yeah.
he's like
It's a car file.
There's
Autofile.
something weird, and I like Bruce Springsteen, but there's something weird about how everything is about a car. It's like nobody lives in your fucking cars, Bruce. Like, nobody's doing that. I don't know.
He's too into cars.
So much car talk. I'm
I
sorry,
know.
I don't know
Yeah.
what's happening. You're going to get a lot of unsubscribing from people who don't care about cars from this episode.
Oh, no, I think we lost him. No, I'm just kidding.
a long time ago.
I'm just kidding.
Long time
from the ornaments.
No,
To be
guys,
honest.
the ornaments and the cars have been great. Now, let me see. I think we have some listener submitted JMOs.
Ooh.
Tony, tighten this up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having trouble finding everything on my phone or anything on my phone nowadays with the new upgrade thing. Okay. When I am reading a book, and once again, let me know if we've done this one before because I'm terrible with the bookkeeping involved in not reading.
I'm terrible with memory, so I probably
Okay,
won't be.
perfect. When I'm reading a book and can tell there's going to be a big reveal, I put my hand over the text in
Yeah,
case my.
I do
We
remember
did this
you did
one.
that one. yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Until recently, I thought the salute emoji was getting a pat on the head. I thought it was belittling. Do you know the emoji that's like
Yeah.
that? They thought it was getting a pat on the head. No, I think I knew that one. But
yeah.
why is there only half of the guy's head, the
to
emoji's
fit
head
it, maybe
there?
it'd be too small if there
Yeah,
was.
I guess to get the. What is this one? What is this one? The
So-
two
Praise.
hands,
Is it
Is it praise?
Yeah, I think it's praise.
and then it's
Wow.
like there's like
It's
it's
like
so
wow, basically, right?
Yeah.
It's like I'm not worthy or something. Like
You're awesome.
because there's
maybe?
Yeah.
like lines
yeah.
in between. It's the whole
it
mechanics
is weird,
of it.
actually. Yeah, because it's not.
Oh, I also have a thing. Speaking of emojis, is they'll frequently have like something on like a. I've seen it at like an oil change place where it's like, you know, it's quick and it'll be a hand emoji, like basically a pointer finger, but then there's like it's made a snap sound, and it's like
Oh.
your hand doesn't go to a gun. Like that's not how your hand
Snap,
ends
yeah.
up when you snap.
Mine does. Mine
I feel like
totally
it's
does.
to
Yeah, I guess-
that.
Yeah.
All the
'cause I
way to
leave
that?
No, I leave this finger out when I
Yeah,
snap.
me too.
Okay.
But you can if you're like super like
Just a freak.
do
Get
like
him.
I feel like you change it to then do that.
Snap
Snap to finger
organically,
guns.
please, Jeff. That's so interesting.
He
goes like
keeps
that.
his finger in.
Tony
You're
snap.
the freak.
I
Well-
like a little bit out with
But
my
snap-
I have to
snapping
have
to-
this finger
Yeah.
out. I can't snap unless
There's
this
so much
finger's
snapping.
out.
No, this finger's like along for the ride with the middle finger.
Along
The
for the
pointer finger
ride.
is along for the ride.
No,
Yeah.
you're
and
the
then
one.
it gets, and then the
Oh, yeah,
pointer
I get it
finger
now.
gets a
I
hug.
know.
Gets a hug from the thumb.
That's how you
The
teach
pointer
it.
finger
Yeah.
gets a hug.
Through
Pointer
love.
finger
It's love.
gets a hug.
It's love. It gets a
Between this
hug.
and the ornaments. I don't know.
I keep it out, but
It's a
I
lot.
can't.
know.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Jessica says, every time I'm turning something on or off, in my head, I say lefty loosey, righty tighty. Noticed this yesterday when turning on the garden hose, but I always do it, even though I know better.
Maybe not every
Speaking
time.
of Jessica, this is not the same Jessica, but Jessica Vega, who Wendy and I went to college with, is the one who taught me righty tighty, lefty loosey. I did not grow up in a righty tighty, lefty loosey house. So if I get confused,
Did you feel like your folks knew?
no, I think they didn't. In the same way that I didn't know until adulthood the rule about when you say less and when you say fewer.
Oh yeah.
And I think, like, how many people who knew that thought I was dumb? I just didn't know. I think I grew up in a house that misused that one too. But now that I know,
Sure.
What's
if I'm,
the less than fewer thing? I don't know it.
I'm sure you do.
What?
So something you can say less than. Oh no! Now I'm forgetting.
Less is for when there is
when
a,
you can count it or can't count it.
fewer is if you can count the number
Yeah.
of things, and less is if there's an amount of something that's.
Oh, I've never thought that.
Yeah, I don't think I
I use
have
them
either.
interchangeably. Well, no, I would say fewer if it was like fewer things. I get
Like
that.
if
Yeah.
you're
could also
saying
say
he gave,
less.
he gave me less jelly beans. Would you say that? Because
Yeah.
you're supposed to say fewer.
Well, fuck everybody. I'll say whatever the fuck
I'm talking
I
about
want.
so
It's-
many jelly beans you couldn't fucking count them if you wanted
You
to.
got
Yeah.
to storm the Capital. I
Yeah.
get to say fewer.
Yeah.
Like it's
Whenever
a
I
fire
fucking
hose of
want.
fucking jelly beans.
Like you could
Like,
say
I wish
less.
Jeff had less ornaments. I'm allowed to say it. It's true.
It's only like 2.5 crates of them
Where do they all go?
into the garage.
Okay.
For now.
Anyway, do you guys all say righty,
They do
tighty,
a
lefty,
fire
loosey?
in the
I
backyard.
say it like when
Yeah.
I need to. Like
Yeah.
when I'm actually
It's on a
actively,
needed
like,
basis.
using a screwdriver or something
But
like
not when
that.
you're just like in the shower.
I don't turn anything on or off though. Too, I leave everything's
Sure.
on in the house, and
Yeah.
I just walk right into a shower that's already on. You know,
That's
I can't be
good.
bothered. I'm a busy career woman. All the faucets and showers are on at all
You have
times
a-
in case
you
I
never
need
know.
them.
You have a
That's
shower
smart.
person who goes in and
I
turns
don't
it
have
on
a
for
shower
you?
person. No, I'm not that kind of busy
Oh.
career woman. I just leave everything on. I'm
Oh.
that kind. You know,
That's
that's
awesome.
a known type.
Yes, it is.
I feel like the city put a restrictor on our water or something because the water pressure in our house
In
is
two
dropped.
of our bathrooms, the sinks are not as there's less pressure than there used to be, and I don't know what is causing it.
Just
But we
bad pipes, probably.
Probably.
Got a
Yeah.
pipe goblin.
Have you seen those things where they show you what the inside of a pipe looks like? It's
I'm
like
sure
you'll
I
never.
have.
Yeah, because they just fill up with corrosion until it's
So then, what's the cure for that? $3,000? Oh, more than
Oh,
$3,000.
$3,000? No, I mean for one pipe, I guess. No, I don't know.
Jigsaw's pipes. Don't
funny.
listen
I
to
do.
him.
So
He's
funny.
trying to get
I
you
gotta
to buy
look.
it.
I gotta.
He's trying to get you to buy
I
it.
have a valise filled
Because he's
with
got
pipes.
to make money to get his fucking
Ornaments.
Yeah.
bullshit
the
ornament that
pipe-
he's excited about.
Pipe to ornament
Connect
pipeline.
4 ornaments. Gotta get it.
I have the battleship one. I don't need.
What's
it.
your
Settlers of Catan has a new ornament.
Oh, that'd be great.
I gotta leave.
They're never gonna make that though. You can dream though.
What's
You
your
can dream.
favorite board game ornament?
Oh God, Allison, why? We're teetering
I like
on the
life.
brink here.
I like the life one because it's got the
never-
little spinner thing.
Oh,
That's pretty cool.
that you can spin.
The clue. I don't think it spins.
Oh, okay.
That would be great.
yeah.
The clue one's pretty good too.
I've never asked him a single question on these ornaments, and then today has been an infinite amount more information about these ornaments than I've ever wanted.
You've
I
tried
just
so
ignore
much
it.
more.
You've just tried to hope that it wouldn't get brought up ever.
It's like how people probably handle it if they're like someone in their relationship has like a cocaine problem. They're not ready to like deal with it.
Well, you're
Let's
talking
stop
about
the
being
podcast
Christmassy.
and go get some cocaine. Yep. All my metaphors are cocaine.
Do your children like the ornaments?
Yes.
probably like them a normal amount. That person
Yeah.
likes ornaments. Not this amount. Not this amount.
No. I mean, sometimes there are definitely ones that they like that are not the keepsake ornaments that they like better than
Are
the
you okay
keepsake.
with that?
Yeah.
Are you disappointed a little bit?
How old when you sit them down and teach them about the ornaments?
What I'll teach them is don't end up like your father.
Now, was your
Love
dad,
it.
your Hallmark dad, also into them?
No.
No, he was into alcohol.
He was way into alcohol.
That's the real version of what I just said.
Yeah, that is 100% what he is. It was like when he worked at Hallmark, it was like Mad Men only with greeting cards. Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Well, it meant that he and
like,
his
drank and
cronies,
golfed
Oh, I
all the
see.
time.
he and his cronies, went out for 3 martini lunches, literally.
I feel like Hallmark's a company where you could get away with that.
it was for a while,
You're
and
not
then
like working at a hospital. You're making greeting cards.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean he never
Low
spoke
pressure.
about his emotions at all, and the fact that he was the editor of the greeting card line has always killed me. That like somebody would bring in like a very sincere like card, and my dad would be like, I mean, it's well written. Is this something humans say to one another? No idea. No idea.
It does
I'll take your word for it.
It does explain a lot, though,
About what, cards or his dad?
about
Or-
greeting cards.
The ornaments.
The greeting cards.
Yeah.
Growing up reading greeting cards, being like, okay. They were approved by someone who was.
Yeah, I've always
Not in touch.
assumed
Loaded.
that no one believes greeting cards at all. But now that you're saying that, I'm like, oh no, people probably do actually read the inside of the greeting card and say, this is exactly what I want to say to this
My-
person.
My mom does.
ignore it and then I just
Yes.
write something under
Yeah.
it. I
Yes.
just get
My-
it as like, this is the form in which this message is delivered.
Yeah.
My
Like,
grandmother
like
would
decoration.
underline the words.
Same.
It was the important
Yep,
words,
my parents
right?
did
Wow.
This is
yeah.
so true.
It's like she wrote it by underlining
His
it.
great. Is this your grandmother who wrote her own book of poetry called "Tell a Phone Tag"?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, both of my grandmothers would do that. But yes, oh my God. Yes. She was a little crazy. And she self-published a book
fox.
called Tell a Phone Tag, which was outgoing answering machine messages that you could record yourself. So, and they were always like, and you'd think like, okay, back in the day when people do like fun, customized, outgoing messages, that they would be like jokey but they were all just like, I'm out golfing. Can't take your call right now. Love you.
There was just
And it was
something
like a
anyone
whole,
could think of.
yeah, it was like all that. It's like variations of that. Like, but some of them were weirdly like almost like, because she was also very flirty for an old lady. And so they would be like, I can't even remember, like flirty in an old fashioned, like,
Like "Hey Toots."
yeah. Like, hey, Toots, caught you looking at me. Hope you have a great day. Love you. And she brought them to stores and had them sell them on at the counter.
Yeah,
And
like on
had them sell
consignment.
them.
Well,
They had no
she made
choice.
some deal where she'd made it was like on consignment. Yeah. My other grandmother
sounds
also
incredible.
self-published a book of golf jokes.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
But wait, back to the telephone tag. It was 4 words, right?
Tell a phone tag.
Was
I'm sorry. I just
Do you get the pun? Wait, hold on. Do you get the pun?
I
got
guess
it
you are
against
telling
my
a
will.
phone.
But is it
Why am I
these
telling
were
a phone?
outgoing messages like you record
Outgoing.
them
Yes.
as, or they're things you're leaving for
No.
people?
This is like
Like what people get
people
when they, on
hear
your
when they call
voicemail,
you
when
on
they
your
call you,
voicemail.
or your
Okay.
answering machine.
yeah, and this is the
Fine.
days of answering machines.
Right.
Glorious
Wow.
days of answering machines.
Wow.
Yeah. She once got a thing she wrote published on a blog, some random person's blog, and then she would
Blog, you
she would
say.
go around talking about how she was published.
Oh, wow.
So-
I love that so
Yeah.
much.
I mean, look, I don't mean to. Actually, I do. I don't care.
Let's do Podcast Pals product picks.
Podcast Pals product picks.
Do you have a thing you'd like to recommend?
Oh, do I?
Okay.
Everybody probably already knew about this.
It's all right.
But I feel like my life was transformed by it. Well, because, we have a lot of children and we can't light candles.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know about candle warmers.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah.
about candle warmers.
I'm
And now
all
that I
about
have a
candle
candle
warmer.
warmer, I have it on every day. I'm back in the world of candles and scented candles. And I'm walking on air.
Yeah.
And I will say, I know you like to put up an Amazon link, and there's some pretty darn good ones just sitting there for $19.99.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
it's
got
great.
mine on Amazon. You have to send me a link of one that you
I'll
like.
send you the ones I like. They're very cute and they fit right in.
I love fit right in with your decor or with my
Yeah,
show.
I think with any decor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're great too because you can have a candle forever.
Yes, it never,
has.
and it
Is
has
it
a
great?
timer on it.
Is that great?
Yes.
Can someone explain this to a dummy?
Okay,
yeah.
so a candle warmer is so there's no flame. You put it
Oh,
on,
I'm
it's
out.
just a little wooden square. Huh?
I said I'm out.
Listen, if
For
you
these
have kids,
reasons,
you
I am
can-
out.
If you have kids or pets that are likely to set your house on fire, you set the candle on the nice, attractive little wooden base, and on top of it has like a little curved lamp with a little glass shade, and the bulb in it is warming. And so you turn it on and you set it for like 2 hours, 4 hours, or whatever, and it melts the wax from the warmth of the bulb for that period of time. So not only is there no flame, which if you have kids, you are going to die if you light a candle.
Yeah.
And then it turns itself off. So even like the curling iron type aspect of it is safe.
Yeah.
And your whole house can smell like nice candles again. Yeah, I've been in a candle desert for 15 years.
Here's the
Welcome
problem.
Thank you.
On the other hand,
Apparently has something to say.
on the
Oh my
other
God.
hand,
What?
so with a normal candle, when the wick goes down,
Yeah.
you throw it away.
I don't.
No, but now you're in the world of you never have to throw them away
Yes.
because there's always residue that can be in the warmer again. And now we have a stockpile of basically trash. Just like
Why is it trash? It's still a
because there's
candle.
like barely any wax left, and what she does is she just clutters the bookshelf
boy.
with these old garbage, essentially.
Sounds like Allison's moving into the mansion. Yeah, guys, congratulations. Now there's someone to sit in the middle near the roast and pass it to each end of the
I'm
table.
just saying,
Clearly,
I'm just saying you
Susan.
got to be careful where this goes.
It's not going
all
anywhere. They're
decor.
wonderful.
Each candle is beautiful to look at, except for some of them.
Except for most.
I have trouble throwing candles. Okay, so like diptyque candles; those are expensive.
I've never bought one, but I believe you.
They are.
I'm a home goods girl.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Some of them are worth it, but you can find better smelling.
But the
candles.
value is in the candle part,
I know. So
not
then
in
when
the
after it
container.
burns, I'm like, I should keep this jar. I don't know why, but I just feel that I should. Like someday I'm going to take my empty, this is before I had the warmer. Someday I'm going to take my empty candle jars and I'm going to use them for something. I
Yeah.
don't know, but until then, Daniel's going to be miserable because there's so many.
But you can take them to the mansion.
They
I'll take
would
them to
do
the
great in the
mansion.
You could
mansion.
be-
Great.
you could
the
be like my-
turtles. You could show them to the turtles in the pond out front.
I could
where
get the
they're
turtles
sitting
in
in
the
their
bath.
weird shorts.
Why we have turtles?
You
in
have
there.
turtles.
I'm not sure why we have turtles there.
You just have a lot of
Did
turtles.
you bring the turtles?
No, they came with the
I didn't-
property.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
They came with the property.
These old
Okay.
mansions have turtle ponds.
Yeah, a
Yes.
bunch of them do.
Yes.
And of
do.
course, here is your turtle pond.
Yep.
No mansion
Sold.
would be complete without.
all right, yeah, I'll bring them with me. I can't say goodbye to them. I probably could because when we were getting ready for Thanksgiving, Daniel.
I feel like I
took all
could throw them
put
away
in
without
there.
you saying goodbye to them.
Are you? Is that
we
an
could skip
offer?
that step if that's the problem.
No, thank you. Sometimes I do feel that if 95% of my belongings disappeared, though,
You
it
wouldn't
would be a
notice.
relief.
You
Oh, I'm planning.
course it
I'm
would.
planning to get rid of 95% of my belongings over the Christmas break.
I just can't actually don't do anything. I can't. I can't make the
Damn it.
decisions.
Well, with
but
the kids,
truly,
with the
if a
kids,
lot
what
of them
we've
were
done-
disappeared, I would not know. would be
I took
happy.
a garbage bag and they had a toy box that was overflowing, and I just basically put everything in it and I put it in the garage to see if they would even notice.
I've
and they
done
haven't.
this.
Yeah, and they haven't noticed. So now it's because if you give them the option, they're gonna be like, "Oh, I want that, I want that, I
Yeah.
want that." But if you just,
I'm like
if
a
it
kid.
This
goes
is a
away,
good time to take them to the thrift stores because people are looking for people who can afford can't afford to
There
buy
you go.
first run toys for their kids are going to thrift stores right now, hoping there'll be something decent. So if you have overrun toys,
do.
blocks,
That is a great
stuffies,
idea.
etc., like even just the Goodwill over on Magnolia or whatever, there's a bunch of them in Burbank or wherever you
pacifiers.
are. Take all your toys now because there's going to be parents in there looking for those good toys.
We
So
should
this
do
is
that.
a
We
good
should
time.
do
We have
that.
so
And there's
much.
places to donate, but most of the places you donate want a new
Elliot
toy, which
do
is
that.
cool. But those are getting dispersed to people
Yeah.
they know are hurting at the holidays. Whereas the thrift store might be somebody who's not even saying that they need cheap toys. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And it gives them somewhere to go to find these perfectly good toys, but that are going to be like $1.50. So it's a good time to take them.
It's a good idea.
And candles. And the cake.
Candles.
Old candles
and empty
and-
candle jars.
Allison,
Those candle heads
we
out
have-
there.
but I mean, it's beyond that. I mean, like when she moved out of New York, because when we moved in here, we had boxes, and it was like, okay, I found boxes where she had taken the trash under her desk and just dumped
No,
it.
I did not
Yes,
do
you
that.
did. And
I
it was just like
hired
a box of
movers.
trash.
No, my stuff is just trash.
We had movers do that. And it took us forever to finally get all of the boxes unpacked. And weirdly,
I never have.
Weirdly, the last box to be unpacked was something that was in.
Oh no!
It was in our pantry, which had just like a wild assortment of things. So it was a bunch of like dry goods and also a box of cat litter in the same
So
box.
gross.
But like
So
all the food was like long past expired. But it was like who
Oh
what?
my god!
Oh yeah,
Like,
no,
why
it's
would
just
you-
like in
Yeah.
based on where. Yeah,
Close
Yeah.
it up, move it
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
No, I'm still not. We don't have time to go into this today, but I'm still annoyed over whatever I was when I moved from New York. I got rid of so much stuff that I wish I had kept. I don't know what I was thinking, and then I kept so much stuff. I think I just was like, I can't do this anymore. So then I kept so much stuff that should have been thrown away. But there was so much like curtains, curtain rods, a brand new thing of hairspray.
Brand
A lot
new
of-
thing of hairspray.
brand
You
new-
remember that?
So I remember getting to California and thinking, oh, now I wish I had hairspray. Why did I throw out that? Like, I could have brought the hairspray container bottle.
Yeah.
Bottle is what it's called.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I can replace it, but it was just like, why did I decide to get rid of all this stuff that was perfectly good? All my kitchen stuff. I'm crazy, I guess. I don't know. I was like, this isn't going to survive the trip. It is. It was going to be in a truck. Anyway, maybe there was a no aerosol bottle thing. I wish I hadn't brought up the hairspray.
It is a little.
I am.
At the mansion. You could have a whole hairspray room. There's so many rooms at the mansion.
Yeah.
You could fill it with hairsprays.
You could
Where's
get a-
Allison? She's in a hairspray room.
could have a
Spraying her
pantry
hair
that's
again.
shelves and shelves of candles in various stages of
Decomposition.
yeah.
Honestly, I would
Like
love
in
that.
order.
And then
Whole
you
candle
could
room?
have like labels.
smells
It
so
could be like the
nice.
home edit type thing where you have like
Yes.
labels where it's like these scents are grouped together, or colors of candles.
Do you guys keep your cereal in the cereal boxes, or do you have like
Yes.
special cereal decanters?
Just in the boxes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We do too, but every now and then I'm tempted to get special cereal
That is,
dispensers.
they go through cereal so fast though. What a hassle to have to.
Well, yeah, with the boxes,
the
I
end.
know when it's done.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
otherwise, I feel like there'd be very, very old cereal at the bottom of the
Yeah.
canister.
Oh yeah.
Well, you could get a clear one, but yes.
No, but
Oh, no,
you
I
know
see
what I
that.
mean?
You're right,
unless you
like
fully
you probably
clean it out.
refill it
Yes.
at a certain point. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're
So
right.
then you got a big canister with just like an inch of cereal in it.
Yeah.
And-
What do you do?
I mean, it
Take it to
looks
the mansion.
great. It looks great when it's filled with whatever
Right.
it's filled with, but then you're going to turn into a crazy person.
The way
It's
they
like,
do
don't
it-
use that. That's a good cereal.
Yeah. The way they do
Right.
it is
That's
to get
the
one of
guest
those
cereal.
things that they would have in like
dorm?
dorms where
Yeah, or
it
hotels,
refills at the
right?
bottom.
Yeah.
Because then the
Yes.
bottom always.
Ah,
is
yeah.
coming out.
That's a smart. thing.
Smart. Maybe we can like go to a Dylan's candy shop and see if they're offloading any.
See if they're
Canisters.
offloading
It's
any
a great idea.
canisters.
That's
That'll
right.
be a normal day. We go there and say,
Excuse me, may I speak with the manager?
me.
Who is in charge of your canisters?
Of the canisters with the candy.
Can you put me on the list in
Candy
case
out.
you're
When you-
unloading any of those? Kids?
When
Walked in, got a big thing, coolly like unloaded all the candy out of the canister, put that on the counter, and then said, "I'll take the canister."
I don't want anything.
A huge bucket that you just emptied, put it there, and that's just without asking.
yeah, like a
Oh,
pail,
canister.
like a garden pail.
Yeah.
Someone has to do that. Jeff, do you have an item?
I'm woefully unprepared for this,
Oh.
and I do not have an item that I would recommend.
Not even anything.
I was thinking while this was going on, I was like, what? All I could come up with is there's a Sharpie ball pen that I think is like Sharpie ballpoint pen. That is like
the S-Gel?
Yeah, the S-Gel ballpoint pen. And they make a metal version of it. So the little pocket clip doesn't break off. The chassis, I guess you would call it, is
please
metal.
Please
I was given one as...
Good God. This was a huge mistake. This is a big mistake.
I feel like he has given his,
the
though.
whole marriage.
It's the Keepsake ornaments.
Well,
Yeah.
I want to hear. Yes, but I want to hear about the pen with the
it's
metal
just-
chassis.
First of all, the metal chassis feels much better in your hand. Has better. If it was a food, you would call it mouthfeel.
Oh, God.
But
Literally, I think I'm having a stroke.
The hand feel of the
it's
metal.
it has a nice hand feel.
Oh, God.
And then it's just a smooth ride, and it's it writes really nicely.
My husband is fucking a pen. He's fucking this pen.
It's
It's
more
so
like-
clear he's fucking this
It's
pen.
more like the
How
pen
he's
is fucking
it,
me.
I don't know. I don't even know where it goes, or if it goes,
You know where it
or he
goes.
goes. I don't know.
Yeah,
But you're fucking a pen. It's fine.
yeah. You know where
I guess
the
it
pen
was
goes.
bound.
It's not that big of a secret where a pen would go.
I guess.
I mean, but then again, there was a whole thing about neutering a dog. So I
Right.
don't know. Maybe it is a puzzle.
All right,
yeah,
so
I
the
don't know how anything works.
Sharpie S-Gel with
The
the
Sharpie
metal
S-Gel.
chassis.
Uh huh.
I've used, the Sharpie S-Gel came highly recommended. Was it by Pete Bonavita? Do you know what his pen choice is?
I thought it was by me.
Okay, maybe
We have so much in common. The
You
ornaments,
guys
the
are going to be so
S-gels.
happy at the mansion.
The mansion's going to be so
And then
great.
I bought a box of them, and they were fine, but I didn't like them.
I used
I
them.
know Daniel took them.
Yeah.
That's why he goes in your mansion too. I didn't love them as much as you do, I guess.
Well,
All
it
right.
takes all kinds to make this crazy world, Allison.
I guess, yeah.
All
I'm
kinds.
surprised at the passion that these pens inspire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Flo really likes them. That's how I found out about them.
Okay.
So,
Now, if I pick up like an old, like a Bic
Oh yeah.
ballpoint pen, I'm like, what the fuck?
just throw it
What
out.
is this? This is garbage.
Well, do you judge people who will buy, like, when they buy office supplies, they'll just buy those cheap ass Bic pens? Because I do. I judge those people.
I haven't thought about it, but now that you brought it up, I'm definitely judging them
Yes,
in my head
you
for
should.
sure.
God.
Yeah.
Do you have a pen preference, Wendy?
No.
Really? Any writing utensil
I
is fine for you?
refuse to have a reference now. Now that I've heard this kind of talk, I refuse to be in this group. I
Yeah.
absent myself.
Well,
There's nothing
I
Wendy
object
likes
and
more
abstain.
than wine talk.
Oh, I hate fancy talk about anything.
Yeah.
It really drives me nuts. One time Jeff tried to talk about wine with a waiter, and I was like, I will fucking leave.
It wasn't that complicated. I'm not that. I've never been that
let's
into
not.
wine.
No, but when you encourage them, and people get this little look on their face when they're describing the wine they like, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I am gonna literally homicide
I
someone from the
quickly
way
learned my
people talk
lesson
about
about
wine.
that.
What
though.
is
I
the
don't-
look?
It's just this so
Self-satisfied?
pleased with yourself about how you're describing something you like to drink. It's just like, ugh. I don't know. There's just something so about it to me that I can't even function.
Is it?
Like,
would you describe
they
it as
kinda
like
they kind of
jammy?
straighten their spine and get this like, I'm about to say what kind of wine I like. And, it's literally my pet peeve in the entire universe. And then the waiter like talking about it too. The whole thing. I can't go wine tasting. I would probably do a multiple homicide if I went wine tasting and someone told me about a wine. I would probably die. I would either die. I'd probably die because I'm not violent. So I'd probably all of
Turn
the
it in,
anger
yeah.
would go inside and my bones would crack and my organs would dissolve into a mush and come out my toes. It would just be so gross. And you know what? I honestly hope the people at that wine tasting get to see that someday. That'll teach them to talk about wine.
I mean, how else am I going to find out if something has an
Don't
assertive
say it.
jamminess?
Don't do it. Just don't do it because you think it's funny, but
You
I
were talking
can't
to, were
look
you
at
trying
you.
to choose a wine?
Yes, and I wasn't
one time
being.
him and my dad both talked about a wine to a waiter, and I was like, I'm literally gonna die. I literally almost died. I was like, they had to revive me. They had to get in the machine and revive me in a Las Vegas restaurant. They had to revive me.
Get on the machine.
They had to get the machine
the
out.
elliptical.
I was laying on the floor, and they had to get that heart reviver machine out.
Oh, that machine.
Yeah, the defibrillator. You know what it is. They had to defibrillate me in a restaurant because my father and husband both talked about a wine.
And you guys were just asking the waiter, like,
Oh, my dad sent a wine back. Can you even fucking imagine?
Wait,
I
after the
can't-
tasting part?
They tasted it, and then my dad like sent it back, like, no, this wine isn't good enough for me. I mean, I just honestly
That's amazing.
could
That's a move.
explode. I think people do that all the time.
Yeah.
Probably it's probably normal, but I am not normal, and I don't want to hear about it.
There was a short period of time that I thought I wanted to be more into red wine, and then I realized I could never remember the name of a red wine that I liked, and then ultimately I was like, you know what? I'm just kind of democratic about it. Just
Yeah.
I don't know,
Even
a
say
red wine.
democratic about it. It's just stop. Stop talking about wine, or I will leave. Also, it's probably the end of the show.
it is near the end, but I do
Yeah.
have to share.
Oh no. Oh no.
When I was on the Adam Carolla show,
Oh boy.
he got in a fight with Kevin Smith about, so it was a whole long thing. He and Kevin Smith had a conflict.
Oh,
and then
boy.
Kevin Smith was going to come on the show and they were going to like hash it out. And ahead of time, he sent the email exchange between the two of them to me and Brian so that we would know what all
going
had
on?
happened. And I remember Kevin Smith had used the word Catholic, like the secondary meaning of it. Like, I'm too Catholic about that or something, which I forget what the secondary meaning is. Do you know?
I
think it
knew at
means
some point, but I don't know
You're
now.
not loyal to either. Could you look up Catholic? It can be used not to refer to the religion, but no one ever does.
Right.
And that had a like notes of jamminess to me.
I'm sure. And also the idea of those two people getting in a fight makes me also need a defibrillator. Like everything now makes me need a defibrillator. I'm going to lay down.
She's prone to fibrillation.
It's on.
Yeah.
It's running nonstop at the house, just like everything
yeah,
else.
exactly. You're that kind of businesswoman.
Because in case I need someone to yell clear, just defibrillate me.
All right, Tony.
Definition just says including a wide variety of things.
Right. So he's
okay.
real Catholic
How
about.
ironic. That's
Yeah, I know.
doesn't really feel like that has any association with the
I feel like
religion.
the
Like
use of that
you're-
must be regional because
Wendy
never
is
heard of it
Catholic
either.
about her writing implements.
I sure am.
Ugh,
doesn't have
I
an
would
allegiance
never
to
u-
one.
I would never use that.
It's pretentious to
it
use it that
really
way.
is.
Yeah.
It's super pretentious. In an email to Adam Carolla as well.
Sure. It's like
All right.
using the word pedantic without sounding pedantic. It's impossible.
This has been too much fun.
Wait, one super quick
Yeah.
product.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's timely.
Please.
Okay.
And it might
Yes.
help Daniel out.
Oh, yes.
Christmas related.
Yes.
You want to get more Christmassy?
I do, yes.
This is not new. It's a couple years old now, but if anyone has never watched the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special that's on Disney
I have
Plus,
not.
Never have.
it is very fun. And it's only about an hour. Like
Okay.
it's super fun. It's and aren't you a big Kevin Bacon fan?
I love
Oh,
Kevin
that's
Bacon.
Kevin Bacon's in it. You're a bacon head. He's
I
in it.
didn't know
You'll
that.
be
I
happy.
saw the Bacon Brothers live.
Yeah, he even sings a song in it too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it's really fun. It's like it makes me laugh.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very good.
I'll watch
Came out
that.
a couple
we'll
years ago.
do it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tony.
Sure.
I'd like to remind everyone I'm on Patreon.
I don't have any issues with an anus ride.
That's not the
And I
right
don't have any issues with an anus ride. And also, I'm on Substack. So, and I have
Substack.
merch. I have new merch available. Go to AllisonRosen.com. You can find everything. Wendy, what should we look out for?
Well, the television show that I co-created, is called The Great North, and it is returning on December 22nd on
Yay.
Fox Sunday nights, along with the cartoons. And then our 5th season starts properly on January 26th and runs, I think, through the summer. So check that out because we need you to, because there's 700 shows and no one's ever heard of The Great North. So please watch, and please
You're
tell
on
people
season
to watch.
5, though.
I know,
That's great.
But people still, the most common thing people will be like, "Oh, I've never heard of that." It's fun. And then I also write for Bob's Burgers, which is most Sundays on Fox, and next day on Hulu. Great North is next day on Hulu. What else? I have an Instagram at the Great North Wendy, and that's about it because I resigned all my other social media practices. So I'm only there pretty much.
Speaking of Brooke Dillman, who we talked about earlier, Brooke and I do do a podcast that very limited appeal. Possibly, it's about the
Stringing Christmas lights.
No, it's about the comic strip called 9 Chickweed Lane. It's called 9 Chickweed Rage. It is the worst comic strip that's ever. So we thought, what better to do a podcast about than a purely visual medium, and so that's what we have done. And
is it ongoing, this comic strip?
It is, but it's not.
And the podcast.
The podcast we do occasionally, but we have a new episode that's coming out as soon as I edit it together, and the comic strip is honestly one of the worst things you could ever see in your life. I think you can't see it in a lot of newspapers anymore. He got kicked out of newspapers for using a racial slur.
Oh my God.
Not about probably the first three groups of people you might think.
Who was it about?
Japanese. Okay, yeah.
Sure.
It was in the context of World War II, but still, it was not advisable. And but you can see it on gocomics.com, and it's truly, pick it up anywhere. It's the worst. It's horribly drawn. It's just terrible in every way, and we and it makes us angry, and we talk about it.
9 Chickweed Rage.
9 Chickweed Rage is what it's called, with me and Brooke Dillman. And then otherwise, I'm kind of on Blue Sky. I haven't deactivated my Twitter or X, but I don't go on there anymore. And so that's about the only place that I am. That would be the thing.
And you're Jeff Drake there, or Hate the Drake?
I believe on Blue Sky I'm Hate the Drake.
Okay.
I believe so.
Perfect. Yeah. I realized I forgot when everyone was mentioning their products, I put all of them in, I collect them in my Amazon shop, amazon.com/shop/Allison Rosen. You can see over 130
great ideas
strong recommendations from podcast guests, like this person that you love and also that person that you love, Tony.
You skipped Daniel.
I got nothing.
Okay, great. Tony?
Just Instagram at Tony Thaxton. If you live in Australia, I'll be there in April with Motion City Soundtrack. So
great. Yeah. And I already did my things. Thanks so much, you guys. Listeners, thank you for listening. I love you. You matter. Goodbye.
Hey, do you know about the Allison Rosen Show?